All right, Leafs Nation, grab your double-doubles, settle in, and let's have a little chat about some absolute nonsense making the rounds lately. If you've been following the hockey world, you know the Toronto Maple Leafs have turned the page and moved on. But apparently, someone's agent is still living in the past. We're talking about Mitch Marner, his former representation, and a recent podcast drop that has veteran sports writers like Michael Simmons absolutely tearing into the narrative. Is this a genuine, long-held grievance, or is it just someone trying to keep a dead story on life support? Let's dive right into it, eh? So here's the deal. Mitch Marner's agent, Darren Ferris, recently hopped on a podcast and claimed that the Maple Leafs didn't protect Marner back in the day. The big hang-up? 10 years ago, the Leafs gave rookie Austin Matthews a signing bonus but didn't give one to Marner. According to Ferris, that slight still stings even after all these years. Now, enter Michael Simmons from the Toronto Sun, who absolutely did not hold back. Simmons called this claim out for what he believes it is, pure, unadulterated drivel. He compared it to breaking up with someone in high school, getting married, having kids, and still complaining about how unfair that high school relationship was. It's a wild analogy, but you get the picture. Simmons pointed out that this narrative is really only being kept alive by the paranoid people in Marner's circle. And honestly, when you look at the facts, it's hard to disagree with Simmons' frustration. How exactly is an agent protecting his client by stirring up decade-old, irrelevant drama on a public platform? Let's pump the brakes for a second and look at what actually went down. Marner spent 9 incredible seasons in Toronto. He wasn't just a guy who showed up, he was the engine. Think about it. He scored the most points and power play points of any Leaf during his tenure. He logged the most ice time of any forward. He became the first Leafs winger to ever hit the 100-point mark in a single season. And he was voted to the NHL's first All-Star team twice. For all that, he was paid top dollar, right up there with the highest compensated players in the entire league. Did the Leafs fail to protect him? Where exactly? They gave him the platform, the line mates, and the paycheck. Now, was there criticism? Absolutely, but that criticism was mostly about playoff performance. When the chips were down, the offense dried up, and along with Matthews and William Nylander, Marner became a target for frustrated fans. And you know what? Simmons argues that criticism was fair and heartfelt. It wasn't a conspiracy, it was hockey. That playoff frustration was so real that it even ended up costing team president Brendan Shanahan his job. But that had nothing to do with Marner not being protected. The organization spoiled their players, plain and simple. And here's the kicker from the article. This story should be dead and buried. As Simmons notes, Marner is apparently out in Vegas now with the Golden Knights, and the Leafs have new management. It's a new chapter for everyone. So why are we still rehashing the prologue? When you hear this kind of talk from an agent, it really makes you wonder about the motives. Is this about securing a better narrative for future contract talks? Is it just ego? Because from the outside looking in, it does nothing but muddy Marner's actual legacy in Toronto. Leafs fans are exhausted by the drama. We've spent over a decade analyzing every contract detail, every draft pick, and every post-game press conference. The idea that Marner was somehow wronged by not getting a rookie signing bonus that Matthews got is frankly a reach. Matthews was the generational first overall phenom. Marner was a 4th overall pick who proved his worth on the ice and got paid massively for it. Did the Leafs fail to protect him? Where exactly? They gave him the platform, the line mates, and the paycheck. Now, was there criticism? Absolutely, but that criticism was mostly about playoff performance. When the chips were down, the offense dried up, and along with Matthews and William Nylander, Marner became a target for frustrated fans. And you know what? Simmons argues that criticism was fair and heartfelt. It wasn't a conspiracy, it was hockey. That playoff frustration was so real that it even ended up costing team president Brendan Shanahan his job. But that had nothing to do with Marner not being protected. The organization spoiled their players, plain and simple. And here's the kicker from the article. This story should be dead and buried. As Simmons notes, Marner is apparently out in Vegas now with the Golden Knights, and the Leafs have new management. It's a new chapter for everyone. So why are we still rehashing the prologue? At the end of the day, Mitch Marner's time in Toronto was historic. He gave us some beautiful hockey moments, no doubt. But it's time to close the book on this unprotected narrative. The Leafs have moved on, the management has changed, and Marner is building his legacy elsewhere. Let's focus on the hockey we have today, not the ghost of contracts past. But hey, that's just my take. I want to hear from you, the real experts, Leafs Nation. Do you think the agent has a valid point about the signing bonus, or is Simmons spot on in calling this out as absolute nonsense? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, eh? Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel for more straight-shooting hockey talk, and ring the bell so you never miss an update. Until next time, keep your sticks on the ice, enjoy the game, and we'll catch you on the next one.